All right, try that. That better now? Can everybody hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. Perfect. Okay. Streamer fail. Had the wrong audio track muted. Sorry about that, folks. How's the volume, memers? Music compared to voice okay? Yep, perfect. Okay. Okay. So, do we want to play a game of Worm 10 questions? Haven't done it in a little bit. I think I still have commands. Maybe. It's been a bit since I streamed. So, for those that have never played Worm 10 questions before, it is a mix of 20 questions and guess who. And we're gonna go pick a random item off Wurmpedia, and then from there you ask the contestant asks yes or no questions, and I will answer. At the end of the goal, you've got 10 questions to guess the item. The audience, which is everybody that isn't the contestant, is more than welcome to guess and chat on the stream. Anybody that guesses it right, if the contestant guesses it right, they'll get a prize. Tonight we're going to run with 1 silver as the prize. And if a audience member guesses it right, them and the contestant will get a silver. Pretty straightforward. What's everyone's thoughts? Anybody want to volunteer? Oh crap. What's going on? What's going on? One second. Technical difficulties here. I don't know what's going on over here. No, not giving away any dirt. Try that again. Hopefully. Uh-oh. Did it just disconnect me? Can everybody hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. Perfect. Okay. Anybody want to be the first contestant? Oh, hey, look, there we go. All right. And All right, I've got one. If anybody wants to go, I've got the first one all done. Looking for the first contestant. All right, that doesn't surprise me that Molly's running around looking like a rabbit. Perfect. Alrighty. Go ahead and guess. What's your first question? I've got the item picked out. 10 yes or no questions and guess. Molly, you're number two and number two. Ember's number one. Go ahead, Ember. Ask your first yes or no question. And audience, I'm really hoping that you help because there's no harm in guessing random items. Oh no. I just went offline. Uh-oh. Alrighty. Oh, I'm back now. What is going on tonight with YouTube streaming? It all looks good on my side. Let me see if I lower the quality a little bit. 1 second. I don't know why. And I crashed again. Okay, well, it says everything's working now. Let me know that it's working. And we're back, question mark? Okay, so ready to start the first round. All right, go ahead. Ember, make your first guess. Does it have scales? No, it does not. Just so you know, I won't take this question against you, but it is an inanimate object. It falls under the items category on Wurmpedia. What is going on tonight? All right. Now it's telling me what in the heck is going on? Is it made from wood? Yes. Question one. Question one, yes. It is made for wood. No, you get 10 questions. Any contestant, the contestant gets 10 questions. Anyone in the audience, you keep rattling all 10. Anyone in the audience can get it, though. Anyone in the audience can guess just random items at win. Is it furniture? Question 2, yes. I picked a pretty easy one to start with, so. Post, everybody, if you could please post in the stream chat, then I don't have to keep watching 3 different windows. Please, it'll make my life slightly easier, but apparently quality is dipping again tonight. Is it a royal throne? Question 3, no. It is not a royal chase. Ember, ready? I'm ready for question 4 whenever you are. Is it a royal item? Question 4, no. Is it a larder? Question 5, no. Is it a canopy bed? Question 6, it is not. Can you sit on this item? Question 7, no. Hey troll, glad to see you in chat. It is not a barrel. Question 8, no, it is not a lounge chair. No, you can't. That would have been a good option, but no, you cannot. Question 9, it is not a type of table. Last guess, any ideas on what you think it is? Question 10, it is not the alchemist cupboard. It is the regular cupboard. Thank you for playing. Good luck next time. You put in good effort. Nothing wrong with not winning. Let's do a few more, and then if nobody else wants to do it, you'll be able to try again. Anybody else want to go? We can go for another round real quick. Happy to run another one. Troll, do you want to take a spin? Or Molly, if you're in chat? All right. So Troll, I'll explain it. It is not a. Everything falls under the items category on Wurmpedia, meaning that it's not alive. I won't take that as one of your questions. Just wanted to make sure it was a little easier to understand. No worries, Sane. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, we've never played before. It's different. Is it a tool? Technically, no. It is not listed as a tool on Wurmpedia. Sorry, just in case the rules lawyers get involved. Ask another question, Troll. You get 10 to figure out what it is. You don't have to get it on the first question. That was my jewelry smith thing. Oh, we're almost up to 60. I'll take these all to 60 and then I'll run over to another spot. Is it metal? No, it is not. Is it wearable? No, it is not an equipable item. Audience members, help out Trollgar. Start spouting off random items. Molly, audience members need to go with direct items. Only the contestant gets to question whether or not yes or no. Sorry if that wasn't made clear earlier. No worries if you haven't played before or haven't played in a long time, which to be fair, I haven't run this since Halloween Impalong, so it's been a bit. Is it wood? It is not wood. It is not a stone chisel, Molly. So at this point, it is not a tool, it is not metal, it's not wearable, and it is not wood. Is it pottery? It is not pottery. It is not dirt, Ember. It is not a rug, Molly. It is not an ingredient. Hey Jen, thanks for joining. So let's recap right now. Trollgar has asked 6 questions. It is not a tool. It is not metal. It is not wearable. It is not wood. It is not pottery, and it is not an ingredient. Audience, help Trollgar out. Molly, it is not a forge. It is not a cloth item, Ricardo. It is not booze, Molly, in any way, shape, or form. No worries, Ricardo. Ask your 8th question when you're ready. It is not a glass jug, Ember. It is not an altar, Molly. It is not a healing item. Two more questions. Hi, Nahi. We're playing a little bit of Wurm 10 questions. Oh, and Molly guessed it. It is in fact a fountain. Good job, Molly. Trollgar and Molly, please COD me a wood scrap or something for a silver each. Congratulations on being the first successful contestant tonight. With that in mind, we'll take a 30-second break or so, and we'll come up with and we'll play with another one. All right. Who wants to go this round? Good job, Molly. That was clever thinking. I figured you'd get to it as soon as you started down the masonry items. Anybody else want to be a contestant? No worries. No worries. Just send me a wood scrap whenever. Wood scrap, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just COD it to me and I'll accept it. I'm currently sitting at the jewelry smithing forge, so not going to be getting up from here anytime soon. Ugh. And sorry for yawning. I'm a little bit sleepy tonight. I was totally expecting you to say that, Molly. Alrighty, who wants to go next? Oh. Thank you for appreciating my my throne I'm sitting in. Anybody else want to play? Otherwise, we'll let Molly. All right, Molly, go right ahead. Ask your first question. Yeah, so Nahi, the general rules are whoever is the contestant gets to ask 10 yes or no questions to narrow it down to what item I've selected off the Wurmpedia page. Every single item on the Wurm that I select is listed with the items tag on the Wurmpedia page. From there, through 10 yes or no questions, the contestant has to guess. Audience members can guess random items whenever they want, and there is no limit to how many items the audience members can spam out in chat. In this case, Molly just asked the first question, is it metal? Question 1, it is not metal. Trollgar, please COD me something. I don't have coin on me. I'll have to get it out of the bank. If you need something to COD me, you can trade with me. And I can give you a lockpick to go over to the mailbox at the deed token and send it to me. Is it a tool? Question 2, it is not listed as a tool on Wurmpedia. Molly, I'm not gonna count that against you. Chickens are not an item. Chickens are a creature. It is not a statue, Trollgar. Hey, another Tikka. Jewelry smithing tonight. No, Ricardo, it is not, and Molly, it is not an Easter egg. Question 4. It is not armor. Question 5. It is not cloth. Is it a decoration? No, it is not listed as a decoration on Wurmpedia. It is not wood. Question number 7. No, it is not wood. Audience members, help Molly out. Start guessing random items. I think Molly's gonna need some help here. We're already through 7. Already through 8. Question 8. No, it is not stone. So to recap it at this point, it is not metal. It is not a tool. It is not an Easter egg. It is not armor. It's not cloth. It's not a decoration. It's not wood. And it is not stone. Yes, it is pottery. It is not a brick. So one more question, Molly. Hopefully the audience can help you out here. What do you think it is? Good job. Good job, Trollgar. Yes, it is in fact a pottery bowl. Congratulations to both of you. You've won again. Yeah. You two keep going like this, you're gonna bankrupt me tonight. So please, Trollgar, if you haven't mailed anything to me, please make it for 2 silver. Molly, please COD me something for 2 silver as well. Good job. Nahi, do you want to go? All right, give me 1 second. We're going to run the ad right now so that it doesn't show up for it, and then as soon as we get done, as soon as this ad is done, we will start it. Give it 30 seconds. All right. For anybody with an ad blocker, as soon as this 30 seconds is up and I pick an item, we will start going. That and I need to pick an item. So all right, the ad should be over if you've had one. That means we've got 10 minutes with no ads. Go ahead, Nahi, ask your first question. Unless you already did. Let me scroll back. Nope, you did not. Okay. Got the item up. Ask your first question. Is it a consumable? Question 1. It is not. Jin, we've already established this, and it cannot be a creature. It has to be something listed as an item in the Wurmpedia, in the Wurmpedia categories. So, Nahi, I'm not going to count that as a question. That was... I needed to make it somewhat easy, or somewhat less difficult. So at this point, it is not a consumable. Go ahead and ask Jin. You're in the audience. Guess items. Nahi's got to guess the. Hey, look. Either is it some sort of equipment? It is not listed as equipment in. All right, we're not gonna count that one. Ask a different question. That's I can answer either direction, and I can see an argument either way. So we'll just maybe. Depends on what you define equipment as. I don't want to send you the wrong direction. So rephrase the question. It won't count. It is not a short sword. Jen. It is not a rake, Trollgar. It is not a decorative item. Question 2. And Jin, it is not a hammer. Trollgar, it is not a wagon. Nahi, it's not so much that you can't ask if it's a living thing, it's that it won't be. But in this case, it is not equipable by a creature. It is not equipment for creatures. Jin, it is not a Mask of Shadow. Molly, it is not a backpack. Jin, it is not a candle. Nahi, it is not made of leather. Molly, it is not a bucket. Yes, Nahi, it is in fact a tool. Sorry, I'm reading chat in-game at the same time as trying to play the game. Sorry about that, folks. Yes, Nahi, it is made of metal. Jin, it is not a dredge. Trollgar, it is not a knife. Nahi, it is not a sickle. Modern day heresy, it is not a rake. Molly, it is not a shovel. Molly, it is not an anvil. Oh, okay. Mana, yeah, it's not a rake mana. Trollgar, it is not a spoon. Hey, look, another tick of jewelry smithing. Someday I'll be able to get Jin. No, it's not pliers. Someday I'll have more smithing skills over 70, so I'll be able to take all the items up there for an imp along. Mana, it is not a hammer. Nahi, yes. Technically, you do use it to harvest. Molly, it's not a stone chisel. Mana, it is not a scythe. Trollgar, it is not a sickle. Oh, my lump has cooled off. Jen, it is not a butchering knife. Molly, it is not a pitchfork. Jin, it is not a saw. Oh, mana, it is not a hatchet. Oh my goodness. Trollgar. Yes, it is scissors. Congratulations, Trollgar and Nahi. You both won. Yes, it is yes, it is in fact scissors. Congratulations to you both. Please COD me a wood scrap or whatever for 1 silver. Trollgar, you're killing it tonight. Yep, harvesting sheep. That's how you get the wool. That's why I had to say technically it is useful. It is used for harvesting. No worries, Nahi. Send it whenever. And yeah, good job, Trollgar. You're killing it tonight. Mana or Jin, would either of you want to be the contestant tonight? Yeah. Because technically you can equip it in your hands, or it's used for imping other items, so that's why it was technically depending on how you defined equipment. I didn't want to send somebody in the wrong direction. No problem, Mana. I'd hate to have to pull out a real stumper to try and stump you, seeing as I think you know the Wurmpedia page better than I do, so I would have had to get highly exotic. Anybody else want to go? Oh, hold up. We're gonna run an ad right now. If somebody wants to run, we're gonna run the ad right now. Let me know who wants to be the next contestant, and then after that, we can pause ads again for 10 minutes. If you have ad block on or are YouTube Red, then you're probably not seeing an ads right now. All right. Ad should be over. And yes, please hit the thumbs up. If you're having fun, please please give this a like. I do have the next item ready if anybody wants to be a contestant. And that you did, you did get a lot of yeses, so you did a good job narrowing it down. But all right, we should be back without the ads. I can delay it for another 10 minutes. Who wants to be a contestant now? I know Jin is swamped running around at the Impalong, but does anybody else want to be a contestant? Anyone at all? Well, preferably not Trollgar, since Trollgar seems to be since apparently Trollgar is making a killing on me tonight, guessing every single item. Oh, and it is officially Sunday. For any of you in the East Coast that celebrate it, happy Easter. Oh, psychic? Okay. Well, that explains a lot. I'm not accidentally sharing my Wurmpedia tab, am I? I don't think I am. Let me look on YouTube. Nope. Okay, I guess you're just that good then, Trollgar. Yes, Molly, I know the Easter event starts in a couple of hours for you. I know you're excited. Did you stock up on enough carrots, Molly? I think it's a little more than luck, Trollgar. Normally, you had pretty intelligent guesses, so definitely a good job. Excited. Oh, very, very punny, very punny. So with that in mind, does anybody want to be a contestant? Oh, you need carrots for the bunny nest to make it work. If you want those really fancy draconic eggs that were shown on the launcher when you logged in for the Easter event, you need to make yourself a little bunny nest and you need to stock it with carrots. I'll be honest, I haven't really looked into it, so I don't know all of the specifics, but I do know that much about it. Because it's the first time I've really seen people buying branches or mixed grass or thatch or carrots in trade. Usually those aren't exactly the most popular traded items. Does anyone at all? There probably is. To be honest, I just haven't looked at it. They're actually called Easter dust, and I will share the link in chat for anybody that's interested. Oh, sorry for yawning, folks. Yeah. Yeah, thatching skill isn't exactly the most commonly ground up skill in the game. Good job, Molly. Good job. Hey, look, we're getting real close to 60. Sorry for yawning, folks. I'm getting kind of tired. It's been a long day. We were outside working in the yard and then playing with my daughter. So, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Trollgar. I hope to do this a little more frequently. My work schedule hasn't exactly been the most conducive to streaming, but I enjoy to do it when I can. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah, like I said, I hope to do it more frequently. Ciao. Yeah, I hope to do it more frequently. I've got a long list of deeds I'd still like to visit, and I'm always open for more. I like doing those deed tours on stream, but unfortunately when I travel on the normal time I stream, it makes it kind of hard. So work pays the bills and allows me to be able to stream, so gotta keep them happy. But I guess if no one else wants to play tonight, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired. I'm gonna get these to 60 quality and then probably oh yeah, Molly, I definitely I've got a list of a couple deeds that I want to visit, and if anyone else wants me to visit their deed for a deed tour, I certainly will facilitate that and add it to my queue. And I'm hoping towards the middle of summer that my travel for work will tone down to the point where I can go back to regularly doing deed tours. I'd hope to. Oh, Nahi, don't worry. Don't worry. Most deeds are a mess, and most people have to quote unquote panic clean the day of the deed tour. So don't worry. You wouldn't be the only one that's had to do that. Yeah, panic clean, because all of a sudden they're gonna go down on YouTube infamy if they've got a messy deed. Because you're right, Molly, people do look back on my old deed tours for deed decoration tips. I've had a few people mention that to me. It's certainly Certainly a good way to showcase your deed and your deed ideas. Hence, that's why I like to tour deeds, big or small. And it's not so much steal decoration tips, it's get inspiration from them. Painted in a nicer light. But on that note, I think I'm probably going to cut stream here unless somebody else wants to. Unless somebody else wants to be a contestant. Cough, cough, Jen. Cough, cough. Or Mana, if you want to do it. I promise the one I have open right now isn't a trellis level of complexity. But yeah, nah, I'll add you to the list and we'll coordinate when work slows down a little bit and we'll come over and do it. Yeah, that's fair. Have a good night, Nahi. But alrighty, I guess on that note, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Kaufecake, and I always appreciate you guys spending time with me. If you celebrate it, happy Easter. If you're not, and if not, enjoy your Sunday, get some rest, and get ready for another work week. Thank you guys.